Hey guys, welcome back to another EDH video. Today's video we're going to be doing a Daretti deck tech mono red. Last week we did mono green, so all of this we're going to do Daretti. Maybe the next video might be a gameplay video. I don't know. It's kind of short on gameplays here recently because Tyler's been on vacation. But today we're doing Daretti, Scrap Savant, mono red, Planeswalker, be your commander. So Daretti is a 3 loyalty commander, Planeswalker. 1 red and 3 generic for a legendary planeswalker. +2, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many. -2, sacrifice an artifact and return another artifact from your graveyard to the battlefield. It is -10, which is what we're pretty much going to be focusing around. We're going to use the other abilities too, but the -10 is what we're really trying to get. Basically, it says whenever you get his ultimate, you get an emblem that says whenever an artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return that card to the battlefield at the beginning of your next end step. As you know, that's pretty powerful. A lot of people build Daretti. This isn't really, you've probably seen 1,000 Daretti deck techs. This is just my version of it. It's not really a direct deck tech. It's not like, oh, this is exactly how you build it. This is the way I built it to kind of inspire people. Yeah, it's pretty stereotypical mono red Daretti. Not gonna lie, it's nothing ordinary, out of the ordinary or anything. But might as well just share it with everybody, explain why some of the cards are in there. Yeah, let's get right into this, because I'm really excited to show my deck. There's expensive cards. This is not budget friendly. There's Mana Crypts, Jeweled Lotus, stuff like that. They're artifacts. They got to go in. You want to sacrifice stuff. First up, we got Ramp. We're going to be straight into Ramp. There's a lot of Ramp for artifacts. So first up, we got Soul Ring, obviously, Arcane Signet, Commander Sphere, Orzhok Relic, Liquid Metal Torque, Mind Stone, Mana Crypt, Lotus Petal, Iron Mirror, Slum Simulacrum, Burnished Heart, and Hedron Archive. Some of these are eggs, like Command Sphere lets us draw a card, Orzhok Relic lets us draw a card, Mind Stone lets us draw a card, Solemn lets us draw a card whenever we sack it, Burnished Heart just lets us search for 2 basics whenever we sack it, Hedron Archive lets us lets us draw 2 cards. Liquid Metal Torque is actually really cool because it lets us turn something into an artifact. Mana Crypt, obviously, we know what that does. Everybody knows what that does. That's the best card in the format, probably, but who am I to say that? Iron Mirror, just a artifact creature, makes it red. Next up, we got Ugin, which will make our stuff cost 2 less to cast. We got Foundry Inspector, makes us 1 less to cast. Ruby Medallion, 1 less to cast for red spells. Mycosynth Wellspring, let's just search for something, basically, and put it into our hand, which isn't really ramp. It's just basically card draw. 3 in Dynamo, which just lets us add 3 generic or colorless. Wayfarer's Bauble searches for a basic land. Jeweled Lotus, obviously, Fast Commander. Justice Will, it's a really good card for mono red. Seething Song, which is actually a turn 1 commander with that. I just put the reduce spells in here for ramp, but it's not really ramp. It's just let stuff cost less. I just didn't know where else to put it. It's kind of like a weird in between, and then there's the rituals, people say. Next, we got Tutors. We're going to be wanting to find a lot of our pieces, so we're going to need some Tutors. Urza Saga, probably the best land in the format. It's just really good. Guy's Cradle is better, but then it just searches for your Mana Crypt or your Soul Ring. Cadilla's Forge Master lets us search for a artifact, put it directly onto the battlefield. If we sacrifice 3 other artifacts, we're going to be wanting to sacrifice artifacts. Inventor's Fair searches for a artifact, put it into your hand. If you 3 or more artifacts, Gamble just search for a card. We can discard something at random, which we don't really care if it's an artifact that we discard. Goblin Engineer puts a artifact into our graveyard, and then Thales lets us search top X and get that many stuff from the top. Next up, we got Eggs, which are basically things that die, and we get a value from them. This is kind of like what I describe as an egg, but there's a different definition. But this is just a broad category of stuff that dies and does something. Feldiger Familiar enters, you gain 2 life, and then it dies, you draw a card. Commander Sphere, sack, draw a card. Mind Stone, pay 1, sack, draw a card. Orzhok Relic, sack, draw a card. Pyrite Spellbomb, you can either sack it and deal 2 damage, or sack it and draw a card. Treasure Chest, there's a lot of text there. It's just roll dice, and you can get an artifact onto the battlefield. Or just create 5 treasures, or draw 3 and gain 3. And all the other ones there, this thing flipped too fast. So Meteor Golem, Lotus Petal, Skyscanner, Mindslaver, Microsoft's Wellspring, Hedron Archive, Guild Globe, Burnished Heart, and Junk Diver, all things we can sacrifice and get artifacts back with some of them. Some of them draw cards. Mindslaver just pretty much lets you win the game. Guild Globe, you can add 2 different mana colors, but it doesn't really matter because we're mono red. Microsoft Wellspring, you already saw that. Lotus Petal just adds mana. You've already saw the Hedron Archive. Meteor Golem, if you just bring them back over and over again, you just blow up everything everybody has, because that's something we can actually do. I mean, pretty simple in here. Next up, we got Artist Sack. I thought that was pretty clever. Stuff that sacrifices artifacts and or cares about sacrificing artifacts. Goblin Engineer, put something into your graveyard. You already saw it. You can sacrifice and return something 3 or less. Goblin Loader does the same thing, but for any artifact. Scrap Loader does pretty similar, but you can sack something and get something X or less, I think. Anyways, Bosch lets us 4 and sacrifice an artifact, and it also kind of flings it. Quick Clan ROX, best card for artifacts, really. Sacrifice Act 2, and Trading Post lets us sacrifice an artifact and draw a card. Scrap Trawler just lets us, whenever we sack something or it's put into the graveyard, an artifact, return something with lesser mana value. Crime Novelist from Murders at Karlov or whatever the heck. Counter and then a red mana, and then Daretti is just our commander. It lets us do pretty much what we want to do. This is like a miscellaneous category because I don't really know where to put this stuff. Mirror's Battlesphere. It creates mirrors for blockers for our commander. Demand Answers, which is sacrifice an artifact, draw 2 cards pretty much for 2 mana. Chaos Warp's just removal. Chain Reactions just a board wipe. Balefire Dragon's also kind of just like a board wipe. Manifold Key, let's untap our Metal Worker, which is pretty good. Hellkite Tyrant, you can just win the game that way. Staff of Domination, combos with Metal Worker, Tibalt Trickery, Counterspell. Scrap Mastery, just let you sack everything and return it. Scroll Rack is just another good artifact. Steel Hellkite, also a board wipe. Ornithopter, this is 0/2 for 0. Mystic Forge lets us play our artifacts from the top of our library. Voltaic also untaps our artifacts. Our Harmless Archive turns our discard 2, draw 2 into discard 2 and draw 4. It's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty much the flyers. I have flyers in here. It's not really a dragon deck, but I have flyers in here. 3 dragons for the flying blockers. I know it doesn't really synergize well, but still Hellkite's a dragon, and it's also an artifact. So why not just throw it in, and then Hellkite can just win the game and gain control of everybody else's artifacts, which you don't really care about their artifacts, but they add to your count, and sacrificing them, obviously you don't get them back, but yeah, it's still good. I think it's still good. If you don't like it, it's okay. Lands, we have 28 Mountains, Karn's Bastion, Great Furnace, Darksteel Citadel, Phyrexian Core, Inventor's Fair, Wasteland, Valakut, the Molten Pinnacle, and Urza's Saga. Karn's Bastion is just to proliferate our counters on Daretti. I feel like we could just spare a mountain for that. There's honestly too many lands, and then Darksteel Citadel and Great Furnace also add to our, our artifact count. And then Phyrexian Core is just sack an artifact and get 1 life. And then Wasteland is sacrifice it and destroy target non-basic. Valakut is just, you have 28 mountains, might as well just get some extra damage on top of it. It's pretty good. I think it's okay. Next up, we got combos. There's only 2 in here, which is our commander's ultimate with Mindslaver. Just return it and take everybody's turn. You have to have mana open for this. But if you have this Metal Worker and Staff of Domination combo, who cares? As long as you have 3 artifacts in your bow, you go like mana, like you don't net any mana, but you go mana equal, kind of. You just do it over and over again. Eventually you'll draw more artifacts, so you'll get more mana. I think everybody's seen this combo. If you've been alive in the past 30 years, yeah, you've probably seen this combo. If you haven't, you've been living under a rock. But also, I do have the gold bordered Metal Worker because that's the one I own. I don't think it's tournament legal. It doesn't have like an actual magic back on it, but it's still cool. I have a Metal Worker, so it's good. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what I can do better in the deck text, because I'm really struggling with knowing how to do them, because I like to go fast. I don't like to watch like hour-long videos of somebody explaining their deck. I just like to breeze through it, get it done, get people knowing what the heck the deck's doing, what it's all about. If you guys want to see actual gameplay of the Daretti deck, there's a couple games on the channel. There's not a whole bunch. I don't play it that much because it just feels a little bit too mean sometimes, and just like mind slaving your opponent over and over again is just like, oh man, this sucks for you guys, and I don't really like doing that. But when I do play, I do do stuff, and it's fun until I mind slaver. Then I'm like, oh man, it feels bad. But I mean, I've thought about taking it out, but it's like, I don't know, you know. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.